Hi, my name is Salome. I'm a Triton College student for the culinary program. I am going for my culinary and art associates. Today I'm going to be making green enchiladas. So right here I have 2 pots. I have been letting the water warm up a bit. One of them is going to be for my green sauce and the other one's going to be for my chicken. So for the chicken, you're going to need half an onion. So I'm going to be using the onion for the sauce and for the chicken. Some garlic, a bay leaf, some salt, pepper, and then for the salsa, you're going to need jalapenos and some green tomatillos. Right, so with the salsa, you could pick how many jalapenos you want to add. You could pick 1, you could pick 2, you could add more, or you could change up the peppers you want to depending on your level of spice. So for right now, while the water is warming up, I'm gonna add in some salt, some black peppers, the bay leaf, and then 3 garlics. So that could get flavored as that's going. And then while that's going, I'm gonna cut up my onion. I'm gonna add half of this onion right here. Just gonna take off the parts where there's all the roots. I'm gonna cut it in half one more time and then throw it in so it could start to boil, so it could start warming up. And then same thing for the salsa. I'm gonna just peel this, cut it up. We're gonna do actually 1/4 of it, so I could cut it in half here, and this is gonna make it even easier for you to peel off your onion. You're gonna do it here, throw that in. You're gonna throw in, we're actually not gonna throw in the garlic, we're gonna save it. We're gonna blend the garlic whole. It gives more of the garlicky taste in my opinion. You're gonna take your jalapenos, just take off the top here. They come right off. Right here, throw it in. I'm gonna be throwing in 1. Again, you could throw in more or different ones if you want, depending on your level of spice and heat that you like. And then here are the green tomatillos. They look like this. And they open up just like a gift. You just wanna peel them. When you're doing this without gloves, they're gonna be really sticky. So it's good for you to have some water next to you so you could just wash them off. You throw them in, you're gonna wanna wash them off. You're gonna need 7 to 10. It all depends on the sizing of the tomatillos. Some tomatillos are smaller. The smaller tomatillos, I find them to be a little sweeter. So I like using the medium ones. So you're just gonna wanna give them a nice good peel and then a good rinse. And once they're done, you're gonna throw them into the water. And while I let these go, you could tell that they're these bright green. They're really bright. We're gonna be looking for a color change when we do this. They're gonna turn a little bit of an off green. They kind of remind me like of the army camo green. So that's what we're gonna be looking for when we do this. Okay, so here's the whole chicken. I've already rinsed it and I've let it dry off already. So then now we're gonna add in the chicken. And we're just gonna let that simmer and cook. We're gonna go ahead, let the chicken simmer. We're gonna let this change the color. You could already see that they went from that bright green to some of them already changing to that darker green I was talking about right there. That's what we wanna look for. If you could, I know it's gonna be a little hard because they're floating, turn them around so then they could be submerged. But like I said, because they're floating, they might fight you a bit, and that's perfectly fine. We could also look for that color change in the jalapeno. And while that's going, I'm just gonna take some of the cilantro and I'm gonna chop it up so we could use that as a garnish. We're gonna use the rest of it for the salsa. I love the taste of cilantro. So I do add a lot of it to my salsas, let it be red or green. And then right here, we could already see that this is almost the color we want for our tomatillos. You can see that color change on them when it went from that bright green to that dark green. That is what we're looking for. So again, if you could, just flip them over and let them boil. But again, like I said, because they're floating, they might bite you a bit. And again, that's still completely okay. You see that color change? That is what we were looking for. We're gonna go ahead and actually add them into your blender. That color change right there. We're also gonna add in the onion that was cooking and then the jalapeno. You can even see the jalapeno change color a bit. That's what we want. We're not gonna de-seed it. It's gonna give a lot of taste, but one jalapeno shouldn't give a lot of spice. And then we're gonna add in the fresh garlic that I said. It's gonna give it more of a taste. And to that, I set aside some chicken broth already that you're gonna use for the salsa. It's gonna give a lot of flavor to it. But if you're in a rush and you can't do a whole chicken, you can't boil your chicken, you could always buy rotisserie chicken. You could always shred it. My mom, when she was in a rush, that's what she would do. And then you could just add the chicken bouillon, and that'll give that chicken flavoring right there. So we're just gonna let this go. I'm gonna grab a towel, throw it on top so nothing happens. I'm just gonna let this go for a bit. I always just like to give it a quick little blend before I add in my cilantro. And this is where like you guys are gonna see like the big color change in it. All right, and now that it's all smooth together, that's where we're gonna want it. We would empty out this pan of water and then just throw it back in. But I have some salsa ready already, because you do want to let it sit a little, pick up some flavor. You're gonna want to add everything to taste. So if you want some more salt, you're gonna add that to taste. If you want more pepper, black pepper, garlic, anything, you'll all add that to taste. We did add the chicken broth, so it's gonna be really flavorful already, but it's all gonna be to taste how you like it. So we're just gonna let this heat up a bit, let it warm up again, and then you're gonna see the color change again in it as we let it go and we let the flavors develop in it. I already shredded some chicken we have here. I already shredded some. We're gonna use this chicken for the enchiladas. I have some cheese right here that I've already shredded as well. It's queso chihuahua. So it's really just quesadilla cheese you could use. I'm gonna add a little bit in because I like cheese. So when we do the enchiladas and they fold in, you have that cheese inside already. Just gonna give that a little mix. So the next step, once your salsa is done right here, you're gonna leave it on the stove or you could take it off. I'm gonna take it off for right now. You're gonna open up your pack of tortillas. I'm using corn tortillas, that's what I prefer. And we're gonna warm up some oil. I'm not gonna use all of it, or you might use all of it depending on the size you do. You just wanna cover the bottom of your pan. We're gonna wait for the oil to heat up. We're gonna throw it in. It's just gonna be a light fry. Coat both sides. Again, so like I said, light fry, you don't want to turn into a chip or tostada. I'm gonna wait for that little bit of poofing. You can see that's happening. And as it starts to poof up a bit, I'm gonna flip it over and let the other side fry up a bit. And then also, quick tip, if your salsa is too runny, fry up a tortilla lightly like this. And then you could throw it into the blender while you're blending, and it will thicken up your salsa. Again, we're just gonna wait for this to puff up. You can see it puffing up already. Give it a flip. And once you're done doing these, you could throw them on a plate with a paper towel to pick up some of that grease or some of the oil. And once we see that puff up again, we're gonna take it off. and put it here. Like I said, this is a very light and fast frying up right here. So you don't have to let it go or anything. You just keep your eye on it. Once it puffs, you're fine. We're gonna take our tortillas, right? And we're just gonna dip it one side, then the other, and then you wanna take it out right away. You could use your hands. That is A-okay. You're gonna take it out. You don't wanna leave it in there for too long because you don't want the tortilla to get soggy again and then it's gonna rip. So you don't wanna leave it in too long. You're gonna grab some of your chicken and your cheese mixture. You're gonna do it here. I still need to use my hands for this. I am not the best in rolling them up with just the tongs. My mother, she's great at this. She could just grab the tongue and roll it up and it's tight. So this is queso chihuahua, quesadilla cheese. You could use any cheese you like, just for a sprinkle, for a topping. If you have sour cream, you could put sour cream on it as well. Again, any garnish you want, some pickled onions, anything you like. You're gonna put this on here. So it's just this vibrant green dish you have that tastes amazing. Super easy to make. Like I said, it's just a little time consuming. The reality is you're just boiling stuff. You're putting stuff in the pan and you can walk away from it. So if you're busy and you can't do this, you can still do it. Just put it in your pan, walk away from it, forget it for a little, not for the whole day, forget it for a little, come back, check on it, and then you could do it. It's something easy you could do. It's something that's manageable and it's great. Thank you for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy this dish.